Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rue and we're here with another speed build. Today we're going to be doing our cafe build. So I did this a while ago, but now I'm posting it, so here we go. Please enjoy, please give a like and subscribe as well to see more speed builds of my Happy Home Designer series. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. All right, here we go. We're getting into the cafe. This is definitely one of my favorite builds that I've done so far. It's definitely right up my alley, especially with how I ended up turning it out. I wanted to keep the outside a little neutral, so you'll see in the end, I think I go with the white and the green sort of being a theme here, to keep it kind of blending in with all the plants and everything outside. And I think right here I'm deciding on whether I like that awning or not, but but here we go. So into the build, I think this is where you get to expand the exterior, or the interior, I mean. Yes, there we go. And I decided to keep it relatively small in order to, I don't know, just make it feel a little bit more homey. I didn't choose the biggest lot size, I guess you could say. And in the end, I do change up the interior a lot, like in terms of where I have the counters and the seating areas and everything. So it's going to be a little bit of a process today with this build, but overall, I do really love how it turned out. So yeah, so we're picking, I know I choose the ivy wall in the end, but I think I do end up going with the cafe wall, but I know the ivy wall stays because I just love the greenery that comes with it. And we've got our little dessert cases, and I love these countertops. This was obviously before I had the regular counters to use, but I think in the end it turned out pretty nice. So we've got our coffee machine, and I do end up using a lot of the Moroccan themed tables and things. I think in the end I end up doing like a mix and match sort of situation with the different tables. But for now, we're sticking, I know I do a lot of Moroccan. I know I used the Moroccan sofa at some point as well. And of course, these beautiful shelves. I don't know that I end up keeping the shelf, but I think I do end up using it. Hello. I do end up using it in the end. And of course the bookshelves, I know I use the bookshelves there. They stay there for the whole build. So that little reading nook there is in that corner. And yeah, so I've been loving the cafe. I go to the cafe all the time to get things for my villagers and different foods. I don't think you can learn recipes. Yes, this is when I get the idea to use different tables and things like that, and different chairs, kind of like an actual cafe. I'm from Delaware originally, and there's a cafe in Delaware that reminds me, that was kind of my inspiration for this build. It actually just closed, which is really sad. But yeah, so this was kind of my homage to that cafe that I loved so much. It's called Whereabouts Cafe. It was amazing. And it did kind of have this like homey vibe, different chairs, different tables, all mix and match. So yeah, so I think I changed the floor. The floor is kind of bothering me right now, so I'm almost positive I changed the floor. Or if I don't change it, I put some of the mats down. Yeah, there we go. That's much better. I was like, when am I going to change the floor? It was just too much. But I know that I put a lot of different colors in here, especially with this little reading nook that's about to happen. Oh, hello. I need to plug my computer in. It'll make it for the rest of this video, hopefully. So yeah, just deciding on what rugs I like and all of that. I do think I end up keeping the green rugs, and now we're going on to lighting and things like that. And I wanted it to be functional. It's a hard balance when you're doing these builds. It's like, do I just not care if villagers can get to the seats, or do I care, or whatnot? Because then I know with my restaurant, I don't think I have the speed build for my restaurant, but I didn't make it fully functional, so some of the chairs you can't get to. And of course, new villagers that I want to talk to will always sit in the chair that I can't like access them at. So that's really annoying. So it is like a weird balance of being like, okay, they can't sit here, but now I can't access their thing. So, yeah, so now we're getting into the reading nook. There's that Moroccan sofa. I do really like the color swatch that I chose there. It's kind of warm, and this whole build is very warm tones. And the rattan chair, gotta love it. I think I add 2 chairs there and make that kind of like a little circle, like a little reading circle. And I do love the new swatches that we got. I don't know if we got those with the update or if we got them with another update, but there's like extra swatches for the, I don't know, different, yeah, in this section, there's different swatches. There's like one more page of new swatches that I really love. I've been using those a lot. And now we're adding different clutter items, books, and coffee and tea and things like that. I loved getting access to the coffee and things like that for my other builds as well. And then I imagine people sitting on the couch would like share a tea and biscuits and things like that. So yeah, just keeping it nice and fresh, and have a little bonsai tree on the table there. And then I think I end up picking Punchy and one of the octopus, Zucker, I think, to own or to be part of the cafe. Punchy because they are a snacky villager. Or what is that called? Lazy. They're a lazy villager. And then I think Zucker is a lazy villager as well, but correct me if I'm wrong on that one. I'm not really sure. So now we're trying to fill out the back of the cafe now that we've got all of our seating areas sorted. I know that I put more cabinets in the back there, but I don't know what cabinets I end up placing back there. It's been a while since I did this build. Okay, so I added a stove. Well, I think the stove will have a kettle on it. Yeah, and then I ended up putting the like hostess stand in the back there because I don't know, I feel like in some cafes that I've been to, it's like sort of like you have to go to the back of the restaurant to pay sort of situation. I don't know. I could have made that up completely. And there's me trying to get that partition in there because it's like my favorite thing on the planet. And yeah, I do think that actually stays there. So yeah, I have our little like cashier thing in the back because not all cafes, and at least the one in Delaware, the one that I used to go to a lot, you had to go to the back to pay. So in my experience, it's realistic. And of course it doesn't have to be. So yeah, we've got our cash register, some bread. I imagine they serve like salads and things like that, like lunchtime sort of situation. So yeah, all of our tables have different things they're drinking. And I like when the villagers sit down because I think they'll start drinking the same thing that's on the table. Like that table in the front to the right has like a little iced coffee. And I think if a villager sits down, they'll also like get an iced coffee in their hand, which I think is really cute. So now we're just cluttering up the back. We've got our little infused water situation. And then this back corner, I was struggling to make it something. And I think I end up putting some uniforms back there, like what the waitresses and waiters would wear when they're working and things like that. But yeah, and I think this is where I need to find a rug for, yes, the corner. I guess a rug would kind of be practical for a cafe because then you'd have to clean it all the time. But I needed something to like break up the wood because it was just like too much. I don't know if I end up keeping all of those white rugs or not, but I don't mind it at the moment. Yeah, and so then I figured a little stool for the hostess to sit at. And now we're cluttering up the walls with lots of greenery. The macrame is my favorite. I've always wanted to learn how to do macrame. I knit instead. But I've always like thought about it because it's very similar. You know, it's like, it's not yarn, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like if you can knit, you'd easily be able to learn how to do macrame. So yeah, I really like how on the partition when you put something on it, it kind of like slots in front of the wood. I think that's a really cool detail. And now getting a cork board, maybe to put like flyers for Astrid's band or something like that. That would be cute. In my previous video, which I can have linked up here, we did Astrid. And Astrid had a jam space for her band, which was really cool. So yeah, so I think this is the final product of our cafe. I changed in the lighting a little bit, making it a little bit dimmer, a little more homey. And yeah, I'm really pleased with how it came out. It's very similar to the cafe, and I'm sure there's a cafe in your hometown that is similar to this. I tried to make it as realistic as possible to the cafe that I am familiar with. And now I'm just putting the uniforms. This is where I got the idea to have their cafe uniforms back there. So yeah, so now we're gonna make things steam a little bit, like the coffee and the tea kettle and all of that. And yeah, so this is the cafe. I hope you enjoy. Thank you for sticking around to the end. And yeah, this is where I pick Zucker and Punchy because they're such cutie beans. I hope you enjoyed the video. Stick around for the screenshots and the video at the end, our little video overview. And yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out so I can make more videos like this even when I'm not quarantined because I have COVID.